Okay, hello, my name is Hope Mickey, and this is my presentation on credit cards and why you need one. To start off, I want to talk about my family growing up. I grew up in a middle class family, and money was always a good thing in our family, but I was taught from a very young age that you needed to save money, you need to be very smart with your money. When I was younger, we used to save our money in the freezer. We would call it freezer money. Freeze your assets. Just a little thing my mom did for us. Um, my purpose today is to convince you into looking into applying for a credit card. My mom is the one that got me a credit card, and that's why I'm going to tell you about it because I appreciate her for that. Reasons you need a good credit card is you're going to want a good credit score, you're going to get fraud protection, and you're going to get some awesome cardholder perks when it comes to credit cards. I'd like to start this off with a bit of research from a study that some researchers did at the University of Arizona. And they found that students and graduates who displayed responsible financial behavior, effective budgeting, spending, and building credit during their fourth year of college, and those who improved behaviors by the time they reached their late 20s and early 30s, had fewer mental health conditions and felt stable while transitioning into the workforce. Super important to have good mental health, especially in this day and age. To start off, I want to talk about what is a credit card. Now, a credit card is a plastic or metal card that is used to make purchases, spend money, and then the money is borrowed from a financial institution, which is then in turn you have to pay back using money from your own bank account. And it may seem like a extra step that isn't really necessary, but it is. Trust me, it is. And the reason you want this extra step is because you are going to want to have a credit score. And a credit score is super important. So if you look at this little graph here, it'll show that there's a bad score, which is 300 to 629, and then there's an excellent score, 720 to 850. And, the higher the score gets, the better off you're going to be. To get a higher score, there's no exact way to do it, but if you pay your credit card bill on time, if you are spending a lot of money and being smart about it, if you have your credit card for a while, and then if you're developing new credit, it's really going to give you a higher score. The bigger the score, the better the loans you can get and the better interest rates you can get. You're going to need a credit score to get a loan, and you're going to need loans for houses, for cars, any sort of big purchase that you make as an adult. It's super, super important when you're older. The next thing I want to talk about is fraud security. And fraud security is very important, especially nowadays with the internet. With the internet, it's easier to hack people, it's easier to get information, it's easier to impersonate, and that's why a credit card is so important. It's a better protection than a debit card, which is connected to your bank account. Since it's connected to your bank account, it's your real money, it's being taken away, it's harder to track, it's harder to get back. But with the credit card, you haven't actually spent any money yet, especially of your own. I myself have had an issues with fraud. I was given a $200 charge on my card, and I called the customer service at my credit card company, and they got it resolved within like 15 minutes. I've never had to deal with any sort of issues with my debit card, and I don't want to. It would just not be pretty at all. The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, found that in 2021, debit card fraud increased by 8%, while credit card fraud decreased by 5%, which is a very good statistic to see. And the last thing I want to talk about is the card perks. And I get card perks. Anyone who has a credit card is going to get some sort of perk. Each company wants you to choose their credit card, so they're going to give you these cute little things. They're going to get you into their system, and some of them are better than others, but they're all good. So these card perks, a lot of the most common one is cash back. This is what I get. Every month, if I spend a certain amount of money on certain purchases, I could get cash back, which is money I can either, get as a check in the mail, or I can turn around and use that money to pay off my next credit card bill, so I don't have to pay as much. Another thing is travel rewards. My parents, they have a card like this. They have a Delta Visa, I believe is what it's called. But every time they make a purchase at a hotel, if they make them at restaurants, they can get travel points, they can get miles, so they can get free flights. They've gotten them before. It's super helpful if you're a big traveler. And then another thing is a store discount. A lot of retail stores, a lot of companies will have their own credit card. I have a Kohl's card along with my other credit card, so I can get more Kohl's cash. On my slide here, you see the Disney Visa. This one is used at Disney parks, at Disney stores, Disney restaurants. You can get cash back, you can get pre-sale, you can get cheaper park tickets, which is super awesome if you're into Disneyland. And then this other one that I got shown here is the Target Red Card. If you love Target like I do, you can use this card to, get more coupons, you can get cash back, you can get rewards. Very, very helpful to anyone who's a huge spender. In conclusion, credit cards are very beneficial to anyone and everyone. I encourage you to do your own research on credit cards and find one that you like, find one that you think is going to fit your lifestyle, because if you have a good credit score, you're going to be protected from your fraud and you're going to have all these awesome benefits coming along with that card. It's going to really help your life out when you're older. It's going to help you out now. It helps me be better at spending. But yeah, that's what I want to tell you about credit cards. Go get one. Don't spend a lot of money, but I will see you later. Thank you so much for listening in.